These are the 3 harsh truths about wholesaling real estate. Guys, a ton of my mentees have been starting wholesale real estate and stopping, right? They're stopping because they think it's fake. They think they can't close deals, but they haven't been at it long enough, right? I want to make this video so I can talk to you guys about what wholesaling real estate actually is. Wholesaling real estate is not the same as these other things you're doing, in all honesty, right? It's not something you're going to log on to and make money the first day, right? It's a longer process. Even if you were to hit the phones today and get a seller that wants to sell and assign the deal the exact same day you started, you would still be a couple days out from closing your very first deal, right? And having money in your pocket. So wholesale real estate is a money maker, but it's not a quick cash grab like the rest of these other niches, right? But that rolls me into my very first point of one of the harsh truths, and that's that wholesaling real estate is not a cash grab. What do I mean by that? When you're wholesaling real estate, it's not just a way to get in and just get cash and leave. No, wholesaling real estate is a real skill you're going to use for the rest of your life, that you're making money at least, right? Because what wholesaling real estate essentially teaches you is how to analyze real estate, right? Yes, you're making money on assignment fees, but now you're also learning, how do I correctly analyze a deal? When you get to the point where buyers are trusting your numbers, buyers are agreeing with your numbers, you now know how to analyze a deal correctly, right? So wholesaling real estate is a real skill that you're going to use forever. It's not a quick little cash grab. You're going to be learning vital things such as your ARV, which is your after repair value, right? You're going to use that forever if you're real estate investing. You need to know what a house is worth when it's fully renovated throughout your entire real estate journey. You're going to be knowing rehab estimates. Then that way, when you're getting into real estate investing, you know if you're getting fleeced or not. You're able to analyze rehab. You know what I mean? Like, you're able to put together a good budget, a good scope of work for rehab, because you're going to be doing that on a day-to-day basis with wholesaling real estate, right? You're going to learn tons of different things. You're going to start to learn average time on market. Everything. The main point is, when you're wholesaling real estate, you'll be able to effectively analyze real estate deals. Right? That's the biggest thing. You're going to be analyzing real estate deals. So that's something that you can take with you forever. The second harsh truth about wholesaling real estate, and the reason why you're failing, and the reason why a lot of my students are starting to pick up the slack, is because you can't handle what they can and are learning to handle. And that is rejection. Rejection, guys. Rejection is going to be everything in wholesale real estate, right? What you guys need to learn is the art of sales, okay? I tell my students all the time, they're hopping on phones with sellers, right? The sellers are like, no, I don't want to sell my house. So they just say, what's your offer? And I tell them, guys, this is a part of the business. If you got to hop on the phone call with every single lead and they just wanted to sell their house, everyone would be wholesaling real estate and everyone would be selling their house. But that's just simply not true, right? We all know someone that owns their house. Ask them if they want to sell their house right now to you for an all-cash deal and move out. They're probably going to say no, but that's the art of the deal, right? You're going to be going through tons of leads and learning how to effectively handle rejection. Now, another problem. A lot of you guys don't know the difference between rejection and like pushback, okay? There's a very big difference, right? Rejection is essentially saying, no, I don't want to sell my house. Leave me alone. Stop calling me. I don't want to sell. That's rejection. You need to be able to handle that and go to the next lead. But if you hop on the phone with a seller and they're just like, I get tons of these phone calls, give me an offer, something like that, that is not rejection. Just learn how to handle it. They do get tons of phone calls, right? Tons of people are trying to work the lead. Now it's on you to be the difference between you and my virtual assistant that's calling the exact same house. What you guys need to learn how to master is how to handle rejection and turn rejection into curiosity, right? There's 2 ways that you can sell on the phone, right? You got being logical, you got being emotional, right? I like to go logical, but being emotional is fine as well, right? But when you get rejection, when you get some pushback, you guys need to learn how to master the art of turning that into curiosity. Oh, okay, I understand you get tons of calls on your house. Why aren't you selling, right? What's stopping you? Is it the asking price? Is it their terms? What's the issue, right? Turn that into curiosity and get conversation out of people. If you can get conversation out of people, you can effectively take them into the next step, which is closing the deal. But guys, you have to be able to handle rejection. The third harsh reality about wholesaling real estate is that wholesaling real estate, guys, is an actual business, right? Wholesaling real estate is not like the other models, right? Wholesaling real estate is not something where you just come in, you look at the screen, you look at the charts, you make some trades. No, and I'm not knocking any traders. Trading's not a problem. Wholesaling real estate is not buying AirPods and reselling it. I'm not knocking any resellers. That's not what wholesaling real estate is. Wholesaling real estate is a real business. So to start, it's just like a one-man club, but as time goes on, wholesaling real estate is an actual, like, full functioning business / company, right? You have marketing expenses over time, right? You're talking to real people with real houses and real problems, right? You're talking to people who are looking to you to solve their problem. So you have to be professional and realize that this is a real business. It's not just your random business where you sit online, you look at the charts. No, this is not what wholesaling real estate is, right? Wholesaling real estate has costs in the business, right? Wholesaling real estate has long-term leads in the business. Wholesaling real estate has tons of different things that you have to factor in, right? You have to learn how to effectively market to your sellers. You have to be analyzing data. The biggest thing about wholesaling real estate is getting a good amount of inbound leads and then converting them into deals, right? But what you have to understand is that it's a real business. It's not just like some random thing you pick up and do. No, it can be a side hustle, but you have to treat it like it's a real business, because that's exactly what it is. And if you don't treat it like a real business, you literally won't close deals. Because just think about it from this POV, right? If you had a house that you were trying to sell and some random that was trolling their life away, calling three to four times a day, hopping on the phone, not knowing what they're talking about, would you sell them your house? Would you feel comfortable having them solve your foreclosure issue? No. You have to realize you're in a situation where you're literally saving people from, like, financial disparity. These are people who are coming out of pocket every month on their house, tax delinquent, tons of different things. I work with tons of sellers who are like, I have this problem, I need it solved, and that's what we're here to do. But the only way you can effectively do that and be a good wholesaler is by understanding this is a business. Long-term leads, follow-ups, everything. There's tons of different intricacies and details within the wholesaling structure. It's not just like you're a one-off, let me hop on the phone every once in a while, call. No, it's not trading. It's not like any of these other niches, right? So if that's not what you wanted to do, then that's just, wholesaling is just not for you. But like, as I said, wholesaling is not just something easy you just do on the side. No, that's not what wholesaling is. Guys, I started wholesale real estate when I was 17 years old in high school. Okay, I was in the same shoes as you. It's not like I was in a way better position. I hadn't run tons of businesses. I had on the side, but no actual business. And I was running into the same problems that you were. I wasn't able to close my very first wholesale deal. I was in high school going into college. I want to go to college, right? But that summer, I really took off and went crazy. I was in my head like, I just want to make money. I just want to make money. If I can't make money in 3 days, this is fake. This is fake. I'm calling sellers on Zillow. It's not working. I had to get out of that mindset, right? And how did I get out of that mindset? I disciplined myself in every other aspect of life, right? I went and looked. I said, okay, how much money we'll use a random example, the millionaire around the corner make? Okay, what did he have to do to get there? Okay, so why do I think I'm a better person than him, that I can just wake up, do something for 10 minutes and make $10,000, all right? Once I realized that reality, that everyone that you see making money put in work for that money. Like, and they can all make it seem like it was just some random come out. No, like, everyone put in some type of previous work to get to where they wanted to go. So that simple mindset shift helped me overcome the very first problem, which was that I thought it was a get rich quick scheme.